welcome to the United Back School. Our school was founded in 1978 and is used to teach the prevention and care of back injuries. As a worker, you should be aware that more money is lost in the workforce from back injuries than any other single factor. In addition to a possible loss in wages, a back condition certainly isn't a plus on your work history. And in some cases, your value in the workforce decreases if you have had a severe back injury. Most back and neck injuries can be avoided. We'd like to show you how to maintain a good, healthy back. The anatomy of the back. The anatomy or design of the back is actually fairly simple. Unfortunately, sometimes it's too simple, and we can overwork our back, causing strains, sprains, and other more serious back problems. The back is composed of the spine, which is several bones stacked on top of each other. Discs, which are between the bones and act as pads or shock absorbers. Ligaments, which hold the bones in line. And the muscles, which attach to the spine by tendons and move and support the spine. Muscles cause all movement of the body and are responsible for our ability to lift, twist, and even just sit up straight. Ligaments and tendons are connective tissue that closely resemble strapping tape. The difference is ligaments hold bones together, whereas tendons hold muscles to the bones. Frequently, we hear about back strains and back sprains as though they are the same condition. Actually, they are not. A strain is an injury or tearing of the muscle. A sprain is injury to the ligaments, that strapping tape-like tissue that holds two or more bones together. The back is an amazing gift to us. Do you realize that any lifting we do with the upper half of our bodies, including all lifting using the hands, places all that weight on your back in an area about the size of a marble? As a teenager, if you or a group of friends tried to lift the back of a car, the entire weight you lifted was forced on your spine in the area the size of a marble. Here's why. Between the bones of the spine are discs. We said these discs act as shock absorbers. Actually, only the inside of the disc acts as a shock absorber and support. It's called the nucleopulsus. It's interesting to realize that our whole upper body and anything we lift is supported by this small spine. We couldn't even sit up. We'd almost fall into ourselves without our valuable spine. The muscles, ligaments, and tendons also play an extremely important part in our back. While the spine supports us and gives us the leverage to work with, the muscles provide all the work. Muscles attach to the bones, and when a muscle contracts, it pulls on the bone and moves the bone. Muscles can't push. They can only pull. When a muscle works or contracts, it gets shorter. When it relaxes, it gets longer. That's why sit-ups are done to improve stomach muscles. As the stomach muscles contract, they pull the ribs to which they are attached closer to the pelvic bones. As a result, you sit up. The stomach muscles don't push you back down, though. The back muscles, and of course gravity, pull you back down. Unfortunately, our marvelous back isn't so marvelous once it's been injured. Statistics tell us back injuries are the most common health problem in the workforce today. Back injuries result in millions of dollars of lost wages every day. A past medical history of back problems is certainly not a plus for your employment potential and may lessen your value to certain companies. Here are the most frequent types of back injuries. Number one is back strain, a stretching and tearing of the back muscles. This usually occurs from lifting too much, lifting with a sudden jerk, lifting and twisting the body at the same time, or lifting from an awkward position. Number 2 is back sprain. This is very similar to back strain, except it involves tearing of the ligaments and may take slightly longer to heal. Number 3 is disc problems. Unfortunately, our disc, with its jelly-like ball bearing, sometimes just can't hack it. Under too much pressure, that small nucleus will squirt from under the vertebra and cause the disc in your back to bulge or even burst. Frequently, a bulging disc, sometimes called a slip disc, pushes against the nerves of the spine, causing great back discomfort and pain in the areas of the body that the affected nerves go to. For instance, if your disc bulges against the nerve that leaves the spine and goes to the foot, your foot could feel cold, numb, or painful. Professional care may be needed, and surgery may even be required. No one wants back surgery. Don't be a hero. Take care of your back. Prevention beats cure every time. Low back. The low back is unique in that it's the most frequently injured area of the spine. 90% of all back injuries occur in the low back, and even though low back surgery is somewhat rare, it's extremely common to find minor sprains and strains occurring in the low back due to improper back techniques. The lumbar spine is the lowest area of the spine and handles all of the weight of the upper body. This, coupled with the fact that almost all forward bending of the spine takes place in the low back, makes it a common area for back injury. The most common mistakes made in caring for the low back are the following. 1. Improper posture while sitting greatly increases the stress on the low back. Not all injuries of the low back come from heavy lifting. Many come from incorrect sitting posture. 2. It's impossible to have good posture while sitting if your chair is improperly fitted for you and for your job. Be sure to adjust your chair for the occupation you have. 3. Without any question, lifting is especially dangerous for the low back. 4. Low back injuries are much more common when people lift and twist their low back at the same time. 5. Next to lifting accidents, slip and fall accidents cause the most low back injuries. 6. Overextending or leaning over your work too far is another common cause of back injuries. 7. Working in a stooped position for prolonged periods of time and bending the back instead of the legs increases the susceptibility to back injury. To avoid these common mistakes, here are some rules that should be followed to protect your low back. 1. Sit up straight, regardless of the type of chair you have. Sitting straight with your legs against the back of the chair and your feet on the floor can improve your back posture. 2. Use a back support. Make sure that all chairs that have back supports are used properly. The support from the back of the chair should be in the low back, not in the mid-back portion. Frequently, secretarial chairs have the back support too high to protect the low back. 3. When lifting, use proper lifting techniques. Keep your arms in close, bend at the knees, and keep the seat down. If an object is too heavy, ask for help. When working over a table or other objects, use your free hand or your knee as support when lifting. If you must work in an uncomfortable position, be sure to change your position frequently to avoid back injuries. If a low back injury occurs, here are the rules for personal care. 1. No matter how minor, report all accidents immediately. 2. Rest your back as much as possible. The best position for resting the back is lying down. Lying on the back is best, but on either side is also acceptable. If lying on your back increases back pain, flex your knees and place a pillow under them. 3. For the first 24 to 48 hours after a back injury, apply ice to the area of the injury. Most injuries involve tearing of the soft tissue in the back. This leads to swelling. Ice will reduce that swelling and speed the healing. 4. After 48 hours, you may apply heat. Heat has a soothing effect and will increase the circulation in the low back area. This speeds the nutrients to the injured area and carries away any injured tissue that the body needs to dispose of. 5. After your back returns to normal, start a logical exercise program to strengthen and exercise your back. Good back exercises can greatly reduce the incidence of back pain and injury. Be careful with your back. Don't be a hero. The real heroes are the unsung heroes who avoid back injury all of their lives. Mid-back. Your mid-back is called the thoracic area and is the longest area in your spine. It is made up of 12 vertebrae, compared to only 5 vertebrae in the low back and 7 vertebrae in the neck. The thoracic vertebra, or mid-back vertebra, have ribs attached to them and therefore are less movable than the neck or lower back. As a result, they are less susceptible to back injury. This does not mean, however, that back injuries do not occur in the mid-back. The mid-back is easily affected by posture and tension, and as a result, back injuries can be sustained from continuous activities that involve stress to the mid-back. A good example of this would be working in a position with your hands in front of you and above your waist. There are 3 common mistakes that cause mid-back injuries. The first is working too long with your head down. This head-down position creates extra stress on the mid-back. The second mistake is working with your hands out in front of you over a long period of time without relaxing or compensating in some way. The third mistake that causes mid-back problems is a slumping posture. Many problems that may be considered work-related problems are actually no more than posture-related problems. Walk tall, stand tall, sit tall. Look at yourself. Other people do. Here are some tips for avoiding mid-back injury. 1. When working at a desk or in a position for a long period of time, be sure to position your working materials so you do not have to work in a head-down position. This may involve raising your desk or lowering your chair, or placing your copy material on a stand in front of you. 2. If possible, rest your arms on the desk or area you are working on. This helps support your upper body and reduces stress to the upper back. 3. Change positions frequently. If your occupation calls for a repeated motion, be sure to do it with both sides of the body, if possible, to distribute the stress of the everyday work world. 4. Lift with your knees and not from your waist. This allows the spine to remain more vertical or up and down, and as a result, there is less leverage on the back. If you do incur an injury to the mid-back, you should follow these simple instructions. Care of the mid-back is very similar to the care of the low back. 1. Report any accident immediately, no matter how minor. 2. To rest the back, lay on your back or sides. Never lay face down. 3. Use ice for the first 24 to 48 hours after the injury. After 48 hours, heat may be used to relieve pain and to speed healing. 4. Firm pressure of a rolled towel under the back will relax cramped muscles and help reposition stressed vertebra. For best results, use a small towel and lay it along the bumps of the spine. Again, don't be a hero and do something that would risk back injury. The real heroes are the silent heroes who work a lifetime and still maintain a good back. The neck. The neck is also called the cervical region and obviously is the smallest area of the spine. It has 7 vertebrae. The top vertebra house the lower part of the brain. The brain is not totally contained inside the skull, but travels down into the upper part of the neck. The neck not only houses important muscles and bones, but also houses many delicate nerves and blood vessels. This, coupled with the fact that it is the most flexible part of the spine, makes it a good target for injuries. These injuries are frequently associated with headaches. Injuries or damage to the spine in early life frequently lead to the onset of osteoarthritis, which is a disease causing the bones to degenerate and form lips and spurs. This degeneration and lipping and spurring causes you to lose your range of motion and your ability to move your neck freely. Neck problems occur from many bad habits or mistakes. Remember, 1. Looking down over long periods of time is a sure way to aggravate the neck. 2. Poor sleeping habits, which involve using more than one pillow and sleeping face down, can aggravate neck problems too. 3. Tension and stress of everyday living can sometimes cause us to tense our muscles, causing neck tautness and pain. 4. Of course, injuries such as jamming your neck or sudden whiplash-type movements have necks as their prime targets. In an effort to keep your neck in the best shape possible, here are some good basic rules. 1. Keep your head erect. Regardless of whether you run a computer, a typewriter, or some heavy equipment or machine, be sure to position your work tools so that you can keep your head erect and balanced over your shoulders. This may involve raising your desk, lowering your chair, or using a copy stand while you're typing. 2. If you use a phone, use good phone technique. While we have a tendency to think of neck injuries occurring from bad accidents, many neck conditions occur from improper use of the telephone. Be sure to keep your head erect and not to use your shoulder as a prop for answering the phone. Position your phone so that you can hold it in one hand and write or take notes with the other hand. Avoid sudden jerking movements. A sudden jerking movement of the body causes a whiplash effect on the back, similar to the auto whiplash accidents that we're all familiar with. Always sleep on your back or sides. Never sleep face down and never use two pillows. Follow a daily exercise routine. Exercise and healthy living is important to reduce the tensions in life. Tension frequently manifests itself in the neck and shoulder muscles and can lead to headaches. Set aside a few minutes each day to do the exercises suggested at the end of these tapes. If you do injure your neck, use the same heat and cold routine that was described for the mid-back and low back. That is, ice for the first 24 to 48 hours and heat after 48 hours. Rest the neck and keep it in a neutral and comfortable position. Lying down takes the weight of the head off of the neck. Your head can weigh as much as a bowling ball. When we think of supporting a bowling ball on our shoulders all day, we realize the stress our neck handles in our everyday life. 3. Be sure to follow an exercise program for your neck. Put your neck through its range of motions every day. This allows proper stretching and exercising and will reduce the incidence of neck injury. And again, don't try to be a hero by overlifting, overextending, or overexerting in the back and neck region. Heroes don't have injuries. The real heroes are the silent heroes who go a lifetime with a good back and neck. Lifting. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. How many times has it been said? But lifting remains the #1 cause of back injuries. An injury sustained in a 5-second lift can last you a lifetime. Don't be a hero at the expense of your back. Most people feel they know proper lifting technique, but unfortunately, in our hurry and lack of habit, we violate the lifting principles many times during the average day. Let's discuss the United Back School's 12 major rules of lifting. 1. Never lift something that's too heavy. Ask for assistance if the object you are to lift is too heavy or too bulky. 2. Test the weight before you lift it. Frequently, accidents occur when we attempt to lift something that we were led to believe was lighter than it actually was. 3. Ask for help moving objects that are too heavy for one person. 4. Never lift and twist your body at the same time. Move your feet. Don't twist your back. 5. Never lift from an awkward position. Make your footing as stable as possible. 6. Never overextend. By overextending, you are placing great leverage on the back. This increases the chance of injury. 7. Lift things from your side and not in front of you, if at all possible. 8. Never jerk on an object or make a sudden move in an effort to lift it off the floor. A slow, steady pressure is much better for the back. 9. When lifting with someone, always lift the object and set it down at precisely the same time. If one person drops the object first, the second person may suffer. 10. Use handles if they are available. They usually allow you to lift from a less awkward position. 11. Have a clear pathway when you lift or carry objects, and plan your pathway before the object is in your hands. 12. Always have your knees bent, your seat down, and the object you are lifting close to your body. Again, don't be a hero. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Posture. Strangely enough, it's frequently not the heavy lift or the slip and fall that causes your back pain. Many back pains blamed on work injuries are actually the result of tension, poor posture, and bad lifestyle habits. Always attempt to walk tall, stand tall, and sit tall. Look at yourself. Other people are. Here are some quick rules for posture during lying, sitting, and standing. 1. When lying, always lie on your back and sides. Never sleep face down, and never use more than one pillow. Have a firm mattress or waterbed, and have the room adequately dark and quiet for deep, sound sleep. When sitting, always choose a proper chair, not too soft and not too big. Footstools and recliners are discouraged because they take the natural curve out of the back and actually increase the pressure on the discs in the back. The seat portion of the chair should not be too long front to back. A person with shorter legs will find his legs pressing against the front of the chair and, as a result, will have a tendency to be pulled down out of the chair, which creates an unhealthy posture. 2. Use a good back support. If your chair does not have a good back support built in, back cushions are available from medical supply houses and drugstores. 3. When seated, place your feet flat on the floor and close to your chair. Sit back into the chair so that your back can take advantage of the support that the chair gives. 4. Keep your head erect. This helps balance the spine and takes pressure off the back muscles. 5. When standing for long periods of time, be sure to wear proper shoes, which includes proper arch supports and soft soles. If you're working on concrete, attempt to place rubber mats or other pads in the walking or standing areas. If your job allows, use a draftsman's stool to rest your back while working. If a draftsman's stool is not possible in the area that you work, be sure to shift your weight from time to time. Do not lock your knees. This tends to make you stick your seat out and increases the curve in the low back. The back can be rested by using a small footstool and alternating resting one foot on the stool and the other foot on the floor. This allows a proper curve in your back to be maintained. Good posture may seem like something we should all know, and we probably do. Unfortunately, too many times we don't do what we know. Practice good posture and help your back last you for a lifetime. The 5-minute exercise. Everyone should set aside the time to exercise. Contrary to some opinions, hard work is no substitute for good exercise. For the health of your back, take a little time each day for this quick 5-minute program. Let's start with your neck. Standing in the shower can be a good place to start. First, flex your head forward so that your chin touches your chest. Slowly move your head backwards until you have moved your head backwards as far as you can. Repeat this exercise 6 times. Next, flex your head so that your ear touches your shoulder. First on the left side, then on the right. Repeat this movement 6 times. Third, rotate your chin so that your chin touches your shoulder. First to the left, and then to the right. Repeat this exercise 6 times. And last, shrug your shoulders. Lift your shoulders as high as you can while your arms are still hanging loosely at your side. Repeat this exercise 6 times. For mid-back care, it's important to do both the neck and the low back exercises. In addition to the exercises we've mentioned, a reverse sit-up is a good mid-back exercise. You may need to secure your toes at the end of a low piece of furniture. By tightening your back muscles, raise your face, chin, and chest off the floor as far as you can. Hold it for 1 count and return back to the floor. Repeat this exercise 6 times. This is not only a stretching exercise, but a muscle-building exercise for the mid and low back. Low back exercises include the following. 1. While lying on your back, pull one leg up toward your chest and chin. Grasp it with your arms and pull tightly against your chest. Relax, and then repeat with the other leg. Repeat these exercises 6 times. 2. Pull both legs up to the chest simultaneously and then return them back to the floor. Repeat this exercise 6 times. 3. The previous exercises are stretching exercises. The next one is a strengthening exercise, which not only helps the back, but trims the stomach and waist as well. It's called the bent leg sit-up. Fix your feet under a piece of furniture or low counter. Be sure to bend your knees before doing the sit-ups. Place your hands across your chest in front of you so you're not tempted to jerk on your neck while doing these sit-ups. Now, curl your body up off the floor and towards your knees. Then relax and allow your body to move back to the floor. This exercise should be done more than 6 times because it's a strengthening exercise as well as a stretching exercise. 20 to 50 of these sit-ups each day will go a long way in assuring your healthy back. This completes the back exercises in the United Back School program. Be sure to do the exercises daily, and especially before starting your work each day. They will allow your back to be stretched and strengthened, which reduces injuries and allows you to have a happier, healthier life. Remember, the real heroes are the silent heroes who avoid back injuries and whose backs last them for a lifetime.